Uh, Welcome back. Gord the Dog Butcher, another worthless mutts. A little different video. This video is going to be about just talking about myself. Just as I'm wait for something to go down. But anyways, one of the phrases that I've always hated. You can call me arrogant, I might sound a little arrogant, but that's, I guess, just me. One of the phrases that I've always hated was the phrase, work on yourself. I just hate that phrase, when people tell you, work on yourself. When the truth is, the way I see it, being in this toxic, world, is, I'm not the problem. Like, I'm not the problem. It's the things that go on in society that are the problem. I am not out there instigating anything. I am not creating problems. I am, respectful. I have manners when I'm out in public. I dress well in public. I just respect people. I keep to myself, mind my own business. When I don't go out too often these days, but when I do, if I'm going, for example, to the mall, I just go to the mall, get what I want, and I leave. I've never been the one to cause trouble. Never, even as a youngster, never wanted to cause trouble. Always, had that mindset to respect people, just to mind your own business. And I've always hated people, and I think my hatred for people, for just the way they've always been, has made me so stubborn, arrogant. You can say bitter, just maybe rude, blunt. Maybe antisocial. And it's just because of the way people and things are in this society. I want to be, the most calm, nicest person ever, the most, positive person ever. But it's hard when you're living in a society. It's hard when you're living in a society that is just full of so many toxic people and these situations that easily could be avoided. An example, again, I've always never been the talker or the communicator. When I first started working, I've never really communicated. I didn't think at the time, I had to communicate. Didn't think it was necessary. Sometimes I just don't know what to say. So I just didn't communicate. And that obviously it caused problems. And in those situations, I have two choices where I could make. Or technically two, maybe three choices, but we'll say two choices. I could either A, improve on that and don't do it again, or B, remain the same and not give a shit. And and I chose not to give a shit. And yeah, maybe I might be contradicting myself as I'm, retelling, my story. But a few other times just didn't communicate, been a little bit of an asshole, bit of a prick, just because, again, other people were pricks, other people were assholes, and I followed suit, and in the end, I am the one that, gets punished for it. And again, I have a choice, either, remain the same or improve. And for a while, I would remain the same, but made gradual improvements, but barely noticeable. And, over time, after you make mistakes and go through trials over and over again, I'm a very conscious person, so I can see what I'm doing. I hear what I'm saying. I'm very conscious about it. And after a while, it's like, I got to make changes. I got to stop doing this. I think it's more unconsciously where it's like, I got to stop doing this. I got to stop behaving this. And I, you know, improve myself without even realizing the person that I am now. I don't even know how I became the person that I am now. I don't remember a point where it's like this situation happened and I became this person. And the person that I am now, I feel like I'm more calm. I'm taking things slow. I'm thinking more. You know, I've always thought, I always did think, but I'm thinking before I make a choice. I always go, I could either do this or I can either do that. And lately, I guess unconsciously, I've been making the right choices. Or maybe it's just because I'm growing up and I'm slowing down. I'm just tired of various situations. But anyways, maybe I'm contradicting myself here, but I've hated the phrase "work on yourself" because I didn't think anything, and to a point now, I don't think anything's really wrong with me. I think it's just the system and the society that we live in, and the way I respond to it is just my reaction to it. I want to be positive, but if I'm positive and everyone else is a douchebag, it's like, what's the point? And it gets to me. It really does get to me. It's like, what's the point? Like, and when, some people, I'm sorry if I'm all over the place. Some people, say they don't give a shit. When I say I don't give a shit, like, I really mean it. Really mean it. When I, make promises to myself or to other people, I'm going to meet that. And if I don't, I'm going to man up and say apologize and try to make up for it. But with other people, they don't do that. They can't see their faults. They can't see that they're just a antisocial, mean person. They can't see that. And that's got to me over the years. But now it's like, I really need to make some changes. I'm coming to that point, like, this is a time to make some to make some changes. And I don't want to say work on myself. I think it's more like I need to change now. I need to become something different now. I've had phases of being this and doing that. Now it's my time to try something new, be something else now. And that's what I'm trying to work on. And when you've been through things for a very long time. Okay, fine. I'll kind of go through the story a little bit. So pretty much, relating to this dog thing, when children lose parents or grandparents, who lost their lives because they were attacked by a dog. I guess I can say I can sort of relate to that. I can relate to the fact that these children, are growing up without, parents. Because I've walked through that before. I've walked through it my whole life. Age of 5 is where, I lost them. So I can relate to children losing parents. To an extent. Because I don't want to say I understand completely how you're feeling. Because I don't understand how they're feeling. They don't understand what I'm feeling. They've never walked in my shoes. I've never walked in their shoes. But at the end of the day, to an extent, I can relate to them. And ever since the beginning, it was like since the tragedy happened, that was like a rebirth. I think I've had many rebirths in my life where things happen and I change. Other things happen and I change. And I think right now I'm going through another rebirth cycle. But anyways, since the age of 5, I can say, long story short, don't want to get too into it. I've been, carrying myself. I've been carrying myself. Even as a little youth, man. I obviously have support there and there, but just looking back in my perspective, just the way things were for me, I felt like I've carried myself. I was my own parent. I guided myself. I taught myself to do almost everything, figured things out on my own. All on my own. And when you realize you can do so much things on your own, you say you don't. Realistically, you figure out that, hey, I don't need people. I don't need people to support me. I don't need people around me. And for years, I've been like that. I've been able to do so much on my own. Little support here and there, but at the end of the day, I did all the running, all the climbing. I carried all the luggage and the baggage. I should not be who I am today. I think what I should be now, I should be probably in jail now. I should be like a misfit, but I never was. Never was, even though I had no support, really. I could have went, again, I'm all over the place, but forgive me. But again, as a child, I knew that I had choices. As a child, at maybe 8, 6, I was able to make and dictate my own choices of what I wanted to do. I've never been, part of the herd mentality. I was never a follower. I never followed the crowd. I see a crowd, I have a choice either to follow this crowd, even though I don't get it, or follow my own path. And it has always been like that for me, to follow my own path. To do what I want to do, to support myself, to be my own self, to be like that lone wolf. And, after a while, going back to, working on myself or improving myself, and realizing how this society is, and you want to change. I want to become, someone different. But it's just looking at it right now, it's a little difficult. It's a little difficult because all I know is me. All that has been, carrying me has been me. And now that, I'm thinking maybe I got to do something different. And the only different thing that I can do is, again, I'm not saying fully follow the crowd, but get into a crowd. And the person who I am, I don't follow. I don't do in crowds. It's just not me. So I'm asking myself, where do I go from here? What do I do? Throughout my life, I've always had choices. Throughout my whole life, I always knew I had choices, and I made my choices. I'm the one that made every single choice for me. I dictated what I am now today. No one else in this world made choices for me. No one else influenced me to be like this. And I could say maybe the hatred of people influenced me in a way, but in my, perspective, I made the choice to hate people. I made the choice to have this perspective of people, to have this, the way I look at people. I made the choice to where I am today. And now it's like I want to change and become something else, and to become something different. And when you're in a world where, I feel people are all the same, everyone is just so rigid and antisocial and stupid, and they're dogletters, and you're the only one that, wants to make progress, and I want to build, I want to create a unity, I want to create a community, and if no one else is willing to do so, what am I to do? How am I supposed to change and to break out of this, phase that I'm in. But yeah, I still don't agree with working on myself. I think I am fine. I think what I am is fine. What I can say is, yeah, I do need to improve myself. I think anyone could say they should improve themselves. They have things to improve on, and that's what I need to do. Everyone can say they need to change, and that's what I need. I need to change a little. I need to become something different. But in this world, it's really hard, because everywhere you go, you see these douchebags, and it's like you just can't tolerate being around stupid people. And everywhere you go, you see stupid people, and you want to make that change, but every time you see someone stupid, it's like, I make that choice of either stay away from these people, or join in, or not give a shit. But again, I hope that makes sense. I was kind of all over the place, but it happens when I talk. So the moral of this whole thing is, for me, and I don't like speaking for others, but for me, is to improve myself, find ways to change myself. And I think it starts with the mindset. It starts with being positive. Starts with getting rid of all this baggage. But it's a work in progress. But anyways, another Gore the Dog Butcher. Thank you for watching.